Hi, and welcome
Hi.
to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world.
Hello there.
Colin, what happened last time?
We got back. Back
again.
Everyone made it back to the house.
Baby got
They
back.
reported that the job was well done. Got paid. And then Pog snuck away, went to church, and the rest of the strike force.
Sorry, what were you doing, Eric? Were you being a crab?
No, he was
got
winning
paid.
money.
Got paid.
We got
Got money.
paid.
Got paid.
Oh,
I got you, Eric.
but it was.
Thank you.
It was
Like a
this.
crab with
This
maracas.
You work
was
with
like-
kids every day. Can't you tell the hip things? Like,
Bump, bump, dump,
I've
dump, bump,
never
Yeah.
seen a
bump,
child
bump,
do
bump,
that.
dump, bump, bump.
Super relevant to today.
Yep.
The rest of the group went to the ship's cat and saw the clearly no problems with return of Hallis Martell from his journeys. Everything's fine there. No cause to be alarmed. They learned some information about the break-in at the nest and maybe what was trying to be stolen. And the thing which is definitely not there anymore now that Hallis is back. And Pog got told he's got some responsibilities and then left. So that's where we are.
Indeed. Pog makes his way to the ship's cat. I assume goes directly to the ship's cat. Okay. Cue the watch party yelling at you for not going to Solarca.
I was about to say, and then Solarca walks in and sees you hanging out with all your friends, and
Yep. But this, there's a reason. There's a reason, watch party. This is intentional.
They broke up.
Ari's hanging out with Gular.
No, they did not break. Well, Hular's there. Pog's not talking.
Could you imagine an off-camera breakup? God, burn YouTube to the ground.
That Philip doesn't know
I
about.
can imagine it. Yes, I can.
Pog arrives on the scene and is able to join you at your table. His usual plate of bacon is brought to him.
Thank you.
Of course. And she turns and heads back to the bar.
Where'd you get off to, buddy?
Well, you guys remember how I said that the candle at the fire church was talking at me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went to see if it would talk to me anymore, and I
Okay.
didn't want you guys to come because I knew you guys would say you could come, but you know, every time we go looking at what our things are, somebody gets hurt real bad, and so I figured I would try to talk, maybe see what my thing is.
Did you get hurt?
It's actually very considerate of you.
Thanks. No, not hurt. Actually, I got the opposite of hurt. The Ari's father put his hand on my shoulder, and I feel a lot better now.
Okay, pause.
Complicated thing.
Can we?
I-
What's that? What was that last bit?
No, he thinks his dad works at the
I
church.
was
It's
under
don't ask,
the
no.
assumption that clergy in the Silver Flame went by honorifics of father and mother. I read it somewhere in a book, and clearly that's not the case, so it's fine.
So, Shade, the important thing is here, we can't believe everything we read, but I talked
That is
to,
good to know.
the father.
It was in a book called
and-
Fates of Eberron. I thought it was a valid resource on, the religions of the world.
Were
but,
there
whatever.
pictures, Ari?
Well, the almighty creator of the world has some other things to say about that book, so.
And I
It's a real good meta joke there.
tried to talk around, and it was the fire that talked to me, and it said that there's really bad things happening like sieges,
What?
and yo, there were
Where?
sieges.
Okay.
It literally said everywhere, all around.
Pog, I have a little bit of experience with this kind of thing.
You do.
You talk to the candles too?
No, not the candle thing, but
Why would you not have said this earlier?
No,
though?
yeah, I don't know. I probably should come to see if it's like actually dead people talking to you. That might be useful for you. I don't know, but
It's a candle.
I'm pretty sure it's not the candle. That's not it. Anyway, yes. So growing up, I was part of a community, and they were always telling us about how dangerous it was and how the Koi were attacking, and we were on the path of light, and the only way to defeat them was to follow the path of light. And it's it's how they get you, right? It's they make you feel important and everything's scary, and then you're learning ancient languages at 2, and you're not allowed to
Are
leave.
you insinuating that the Church of the Silver Flame is a cult? Is
How
that
am
what
I
we're
going to
getting
be
at?
2?
Okay, I went a little personal there, but I just
Excuse me.
you gotta be careful. Make sure it's not metaphor, and make sure it's something real. I mean, did you feel like you were in danger?
That moment, no.
What about
But in danger for like the forever size of danger, yeah, super
I mean-
in the big forever size. They said otherworldly
Yep,
was like
yeah.
the kind of bad guys.
I mean, technically, I'm otherworldly. now.
But there
Okay.
are
Yeah,
bad
other
guys in
planes.
other worlds. Yeah. We've met some.
See, when the fire was talking to me, it felt really important, and talking to you about it, it feels really small.
I think
And
whoever was talking to you, I'm sure it's very important to them. I'm sure they believe it completely.
But I have ghosts.
That's
You've seen that I have ghosts.
that's true, and they protect you.
They
I mean-
they said that I have a purpose with them, and I think that's with my ghosts, or my ghosts are them.
Okay,
I get Harish wanted the cast to have toys to play with, but it can get a little.
You know, Cal is so disruptive.
they knock them out of their holders and then look disappointed when they're not dangling anymore.
I'm just
are you
kidding.
looking?
Like, yeah, it's not. Yeah,
You little jerks.
I just
So-
just be careful.
I don't know.
If they start telling you you can't live with your friends anymore and you have to sell your possessions and stuff like that.
Esri.
Ezra, were you in a cult?
I
That's what it sounds
Well, I
think
don't know that word. I mean, exactly, but have I not told you about my childhood at all?
there is a
I mean-
man at the church that Ari thinks is his father, and his job is to talk to people, and they get better when he talks to them. And I feel like you should be telling someone like that all of these things, because I don't know what to do when you say things like this to me.
Sorry, I'm just trying to say be careful. Just make sure you're not being tricked or
That
taken
was
advantage of.
much clearer than the way you said it before.
that's
Those are good words in a good order.
Okay.
That way, I know.
that's
I know
fair.
you
That's
think
true.
But why would they be tricking me? They didn't know I was even going to go there. I didn't even know I was going to go there.
Well,
It's fair.
we're special people, Pog. We have gifts.
Thank you. Oh, that, yeah.
Well, You have something else going on as well. So, I mean, I'm not saying you're not special, just that just because someone tells you, actually, especially when someone tells you you're important, you should be careful about what they're asking you to do.
So I went by myself to try to be careful, and really I should have taken people to be careful, because it feels
No.
like there's just no right
No,
way
I
for
think you
us
did
to
good.
find out what's wrong with us.
I think you did good,
Yes.
right? And then, but now that you
No right way.
well, maybe we go with you next time. Now that you weren't attacked by a
I
cult.
can go see my dad.
You were talked to by a cult. That's a step up for me.
They're not a cult, they're
I
a
don't
church.
think the Church of the Silver Flame is a
Well,
cult. Like,
It even
Is it not?
They said
I don't know.
we're the church, not the cult.
don't do the whole edgy, like, technically all churches are cults
I-
thing, Esri. Like,
I don't go in for groups.
like, there's an actual Silver Flame somewhere, right? So I've heard. I mean, I've never seen it, but like,
Mm.
is there an actual light that the Path of Light walks towards?
Oh no, it's definitely a metaphorical light. But it's an
There
actual.
you go.
It's very complicated.
I've never heard of it, so I don't know. I have
Well,
heard of the Church of the
you're
Silver Flame.
not
I talked to
Kalishtar,
an
so you're
actual
not
flame.
really capable of walking the path of light.
Well, that seems rude, but fine.
I'm not saying it's. That's just what they tell me.
You're not capable of. And then Ari gets quiet because he was about to make a Korvar joke and then realized that he's not a Korvar anymore, and so he just kind of tapers off on that thought.
You can all
Anyway,
worship the Forest Queen.
thank you.
You're welcome.
No,
Unfortunately, right now my allegiances are tied to another art. I don't know how the Forgotten Prince would feel if I was like, go Forest Queen. Probably not great.
He would
Probably
make
feel
you
pretty
steal
forgotten,
some
which is kind of his deal.
important relic of hers.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Well,
Philip, do not write anything.
we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, are we thieving anytime soon? Are you on the prowl?
You all will be the first to know as soon as I hear anything. Yeah. Yeah, it's very good, Philip.
This is
Steal the crown.
This is
of the
exactly how
Forest
Philip always writes, looking away from the paper with the pencil straight up and down.
with an upright pencil. Properly upright.
So we don't have any. Oh, never mind.
I feel like something.
Yeah,
about
maybe we
that.
should wait.
You hear from across the restaurant. I'm sorry. No more for tonight. Everyone, good. Another round
That's how
on
it's-
me, Harish. Good to see you as always. And he he strides across the ship's cat and out the door.
Was that Hallis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Hallis Martain. He came and sat with us for a
He
bit.
bought us dinner.
Oh, y'all talked to Hallis just
He
tonight?
did also announce publicly that we did a good job. So,
He more just yelled it
That's true.
naturally, but surely somebody heard.
well, he can't whisper, so
Right.
He can't whisper.
nope.
That
I
is
think-
so
yeah.
sad.
Esri, make a
Yeah,
perception check.
he went out.
I'll do that.
This is what it's like when you don't know things, huh, Ari? Nobody told me about this.
When I don't
24 perception.
know- Oh, yeah. Well, unlike this, we've had literal minutes to inform you rather than weeks, so it's a little different, Pod. But
Oh, sorry.
Esri, you notice looking out of the restaurant. You notice that not far from the restaurant, Hallis has stopped. And standing across from him is the White Raven with a group of Emerald Claw, and there appears to be a tense conversation going on.
It's ironic because as you're seeing this was what I was intending to say to Pog while the perception check was happening. Well, he's actually working with the Emerald Claw, apparently, because Daedric Banar hired him to go out into the jungle. So that's
People we just fought against.
spicy gossip, I guess.
As I noticed that again, straight into Ari's head. Something's going down. Emerald Claw. Oh,
Where?
Outside.
Oh,
Can you listen?
do we want to do anything about it?
Yeah.
Can I listen?
You used to
I
do
mean, I
my
can-
things.
Pog stands up to look and see what it is that Ari was reacting to.
There's-
Y'all are just talking into brains right now.
Do you see anything?
Oh. Do I see it? Is it visible?
Yes,
like,
it's
obviously
Okay.
out in the open?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in a public square.
I mean, Ari can make a stealth check to try to sneak around near the
No,
door and
that's
listen.
not what I
Like,
did.
I mean, I have a +5
Oh,
stealth
that's better than I
modifier,
thought.
so it's part of the Forgotten Prince thing. People don't remember that I was anywhere, so.
Yeah.
All right, right. I can look like somebody else. Never mind. Like, I'll just and Ari stands up and
You see
walks
swords
towards the door.
drawn.
Yeah. As I stand up.
Yeah. Not at you.
Oh.
Outside.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly you're in Aladdin.
All around, everyody.
The
Draw
place
the
where
sword.
there's a confrontation.
You're not going anywhere,
going
bucko.
on. You see swords
It's
drawn.
like the end of John Wick.
Swords.
Everyone just aiming at us.
Swords point like all sides.
There's
swords
only two
drawn?
sides. There's Hallis Martin and there's the Emerald Claw. And
Yeah.
yes, both have drawn swords.
Both sides. Okay. At that, Ari is going to try to diffuse the situation. We're in the middle of the city. We're right outside our favorite restaurant. Like, we don't need a fight breaking out here. Yeah, Ari's going to just go to the door. Is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's the trouble?
Looking like Ari or not? Did you get that spell off?
Yeah, looking like seeing the swords drawn would have thrown Ari off. So he
Hallis
Shade
wasn't
follows
glances
him.
back. No need to concern yourself, young man.
condescending.
You didn't reintroduce yourself. Shane, I appreciate the offer, but
I just
and the White Raven. You were hired for a purpose, Martine. And I carried my purpose out. I took them out to the jungle, I took them as close to the site as we could get. That I was more capable of escaping alive is merely a credit to my years of experience and many skills. Folk do not lightly double-cross the Emerald Claw. No, and I never would double-cross the Emerald Claw. Think you should come in. I think we should have a chat. I am just not very interested in doing that right now. But thank you. And you see the Emerald Claw tufts with the White Raven advance on Hallis.
How many are there? Did you say?
There are 5 Emerald Claw soldiers plus the White Raven.
Hallis asked for us to not get involved, so Ari's going to just let things play out, and then if things get dicey, potentially step in. But right now, Ari's going to see what
Okay.
else has got.
So the Emerald Claw advance, and Hallis chuckles and says, You should have brought more. Or better. Either way. And he leans down and he puts a hand on the cobblestones, and you feel the ground start shaking. Everyone make
Alice?
a dexterity saving throw for me. The posts that hold
my
up the sort of pergola at the top of the ship's cat start to shake. People inside start shouting, screaming in alarm.
Wow, Shade.
4.
I can't see your rolls. 4, 7,
25.
7.
25,
6.
6. Okay, so... Yes.
The boys are down.
Ari, you slip off the stairs and tumble to the ground. Esri and Pog, you slide sideways out of your seats. Shade, you stand effortlessly on the shifting floor underneath you, and are confused as to why everyone else is having a hard time.
Right.
Don't look at me like that, Shade. It's
And you think in your head, why don't people stand?
I got
better?
vertigo. Okay.
It makes so much sense why people need that much help getting through the jungle.
The Emerald Claw Troopers become very unsteady, and Hallis, the White Raven, is still on his feet. Hallis stands up and says, "You're sure you want to keep on with this?" And the White Raven flicks his sword a little and steps cautiously forward and says, "I'll have a go." And a duel begins while the ground is still shaking.
Pog is going to try to make his way fully out to watch this duel.
Okay.
Shade offers a hand to pick up Ari.
All right.
Welcome.
you.
So the White Raven and Hallis Martain begin combat. Like their swords are flashing, they're slashing at each other. The Emerald Claw soldiers are stumbling around, looking foolish, because we a couple of episodes encountered exactly how super competent the average Emerald Claw soldier is apparently, and I've just looked at their dexterity saving throw, and it's not worth anything. So.
Same.
So the White Raven initially is pushing Hallis back. I need everyone to make another dexterity saving throw. If you're trying to stand up in this, I suppose if you've just resigned yourself to gripping the floor in desperation.
Ari's about to.
Ari's gonna sit down. He got a 4, so Ari's just sitting on his step. Like, I appreciate
you
the
are
effort,
heaved
Shade,
off
but really,
the
I'm
step
good down
onto
here.
onto the ground.
19 for Pog.
Pog, you managed to get to your feet, gripping a post.
Esri rolled a 9. He's just gonna crawl towards the fight.
Okay. The fight goes back and forth in front of you in the square. The Emerald Claw, or the White Raven, moving through very classical fencing forms, while Hallis does a lot of blade flourishing and at one point parries to one side, spins around, and strikes to the other side. In a way that's just utter nonsense. All the while, the ground around Hallis seems to just be rippling and shaking as the fight goes on.
At least move away from the people.
The you guys can tell that the roof of the ship's cat is unsteady at this point, is preparing to give way.
We should probably try to get people out of the
Shade
ship's
would run
cat.
inside
Yeah.
to usher people out.
Can I cast a spell?
All right, everybody.
please?
Ari says, scooting in on his
Can
butt,
you cast?
so he doesn't have to
Can you
try to
cast a
stand back
spell?
up.
Is that what you asked?
Yes.
What spell would you like
Yes.
to cast?
I would like to cast blindness on the White Raven.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
He needs to make a con saving throw.
Getting more
Con
tumult in it.
saving throw.
Which, as we've established, he can just make everything I throw at him. So.
He has resistance to some things, but he does not just get to just save, so he's not. Where did? There he is. That's not great. 13.
Just miss it. Yeah, it doesn't. Needed a 14. So
Oh.
he is blind, and he can make a con save at the end of every one of his turns.
Ooh,
Be not blind.
That's interesting. So yeah, the White Raven suddenly stricken stumbles on the. So I'm gonna make him make the dex save again. Yeah, that's bad. And slips backwards, grasping for something. One of you who are inside, give me some kind of check to make people move. Intimidation. Sure. Yeah, just to.
Persuasion. Okay, everybody, we need to get moving.
Follow
Well
light
seated.
path.
20. 20, and Ari's also going to cast Calm Emotions. It's a 20-foot
Good
radius
reading, yeah.
sphere just to make sure everybody stays calm. Like, he's just,
Little
keeping a nice little suppression of
aura
any...
of
Just got super
sedation.
chilled out.
Yeah, everybody...
They all sit back
everybody feels
down because
super
they don't
chill.
think there's any problem anymore.
It's fine.
I mean, technically they need... everybody would need to make a
People
charisma
begin
saving
to
throw,
you two
but-
begin to usher people out a different side of the restaurant. Cats are just
And the cats.
sprinting. The cats are gone. They know what they're doing.
Jerome, go.
Harish is moving out, and just in time because the sort of pergola that covers the main dining area, one of the beams shifts and cracks, and the pergola just swings down and crashes down onto some of the tables. As Hallis advances and yeah, okay.
Ari wants to be mad, but he knows to be hypocritical to be, so,
Okay.
Hallis, how dare you use your powers to affect a place that we enjoy being?
Yeah. Hallis, seeing the White Raven stumble back, lunges forward and grabs at the White Raven. Do.
Just to be clear, if this pops off, Ari
It has popped
zero
off.
spells.
It has popped off. What are you talking about? Yeah.
It's popping.
I mean, popped off in our involvement. Like if,
You see.
I have one. I have
One silvery bar.
one silvery barb's coming your way.
You see the White Raven's body go rigid and strain for a moment, and he screams in pain as Hallis grabs him, and you cannot imagine what you speak of, and just shoves and throws the White Raven down to the ground, where he sort of he crumples, basically, gasping. And Hallis looks around, seems to become aware of the situation, and he sighs, the ground stops shaking, and Hallis just takes off at a jog.
Oh,
Some of the Emerald Claw troopers begin picking themselves back up and hurrying over to the White Raven, who is panting, and
Pog is gonna run to their White Raven.
he looks. He's being helped up and looking around, breathing hard. What are you doing, Pog?
Well, I didn't realize he was.
Oh,
going
I
to
guess he
getting
would
up.
still
Yeah,
be
he's
blind.
still blind.
Yeah, he's gripping one of his one of the soldiers.
Being helped up means I'm not going to be able to make away with him as easily as I'd hoped. He was,
Trying to kidnap the White
he was
Raven?
blind. What do you
He
want
is
from me?
blind.
He is blind.
That was the plan.
Well, I don't know what you're doing.
Nope. Go ahead. I don't either anymore.
No, I'm saying like I would be down for helping with this, but I don't know what you're about to.
Then, you know what? Why not? We need to talk to this guy, apparently. So, as he's blind, I'm going to grab him and try to run away from the Emerald Claw
Okay.
guys.
Oh,
Ari takes off into
make
the
an
night.
athletics
Like, she's
check
just-
with advantage because he is blind.
24.
Yeah.
Never wanted to check to fail more.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely beat him. Yeah, he pushes he just has his hand on the shoulder of a guy and then I mean, what is this? You just running.
It's no violence to it. It's going to be like a swooping into a fireman's carry and just running a short ways because I'm going to set him down. And my goal here is because he didn't see what was happening and you hadn't verbalized anything from the others, I want to tell him that I saved him. That's my goal here. To
All right.
tell him that I swooped in.
So
and
you,
saved
I mean,
him.
you hit him about in the midsection, haul him up onto his shoulder, and start running. The Emerald Claw soldiers shout, "What?" And
I will
Getting you
cast
out of here.
I will cast Fog Cloud on the Emerald Claw soldiers at second level.
what does second level do to Fog Cloud?
So it makes it a 40-foot radius.
So just
Ari and Shader
And
just
you-
making sure people are okay, having just escaped the ship.
you look over.
Other side of the building.
I
it's
mean,
like,
so like I said, the ship's cat is barely a building. It's like a big patio attached to a kitchen, and
yeah. Yeah.
so looking over, you
Yeah.
see, the ambient humidity suddenly rises, and the Emerald Claw soldiers are befogged in a cloud. And you see
Chasing
Pog
Pog,
just
who has the
bolting out of it
White
with the
Raven
White
over his
Raven struggling over his shoulder.
Shade.
we could direct the people through it. That would cause more chaos and confusion.
Getting you out of here. I got you.
Put me
I got
down, my
you.
men have me. What are you doing?
I want to keep them away
They're
from
not
that.
here.
ship.
Who are
We just
you?
Need to go help Pog.
It's me. It's Pog.
Ari just gives Harish a
Pog, make
little
another,
nod, like you good, and then takes off.
Esri,
Figure out
question,
what is happening.
is Fog Cloud
Mhm.
concentration?
Eric's hoping he can figure that out
Fog
too.
Cloud is concentration,
Is
but
blindness?
blindness is not.
Blindness is not.
But blindness only lasts for a minute.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, he is still
That's
failing
fine.
to save.
I don't want to get more than a minute away.
Pog, make another athletics check with advantage.
First is 17. 17 is the check.
Yep. He is struggling in your arm. Oh gosh, what can he do here?
He's not going to meet resistance from Pog. I just want to get far enough away that we can't hear the Emerald Claw soldier.
I mean, that's definitely true at
Is it
this
just
point.
the sound
but
of them
he's trying to.
clamoring?
I mean, he's trying to get out of
Okay.
your arm.
Then I'm going to dart to the first alley to the right.
Okay.
and set him down where he can feel away.
He reaches down, he pulls a dagger, his rapier is somewhere on the ground back there. Points the dagger.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just me. It's just
What are you
me.
doing?
I'm just getting you safe until
My
your
men were
eyes
here.
turn on.
What are you? My men
That's
were
all.
there. They had me.
They're not. You were in danger, and I don't know if you're aware of how bad you just lost to Hallis. I don't know if you're aware. It was super bad. You lost all the way, and I just wanted to make sure that you got away. Okay, well, maybe. Maybe. What just happened between you?
He double-crossed my men. Where are my men?
I'm sure we'll hear them shortly. They're probably being rescued by my friends. It was really bad for you guys.
For when the Emerald Claw get out of the fog.
Suddenly, Ezri remembers he didn't tell everyone that the White Raven recognized him.
Shade, what are you doing?
Hog into the communicator is going to say, I got the Raven safe. We're just up the way.
Who are you talking to?
See? To my friends. That's
Define
all.
up the way.
That's all.
Ari said that he headed towards Pog and the White Raven, and so once everyone was safe, that's exactly where Shade would have followed.
Okay. Ezra, are you staying with the fog cloud, or are you moving away?
I am taking it that I didn't see where Pog went, I guess. I don't know. I'm unclear. So I don't really know where to go.
Unless you're in that fog cloud, the area you are in is highly visible. It would not be hard to see where Pog ran to.
Okay.
So it's up to you.
See what It just lasts for the duration, I guess. I don't know if it goes away if I get out of range. But yeah, I'll go.
Okay. So I guess Ari would get around the corner first, and you see the White Raven, clearly still blind, menacing a space a few feet to the left of Pog with a dagger.
Don't be nervous. One of my friends just got here. There's another voice now.
Where are my men?
We're just helping till your eyes turn on. They're being saved right now.
By whom?
They're being saved, right?
They were. I had my hand on one of them just a moment ago.
Fine.
And then you grabbed me.
That's not the way you think it was. Everything is a fog back there. Your men will tell you when they get here that after Hallis beat you, like really, really, really bad, everything turned into a fog. All I could do was grab you and get you to safety.
What do you want?
Okay, yeah. Ari's going to use disguise self to change into one of the Emerald Claw guys that he saw.
So I don't think disguise self changes your voice.
Well, but he didn't hear them talk. Never mind. Does it not? Okay.
I can't fist pump in reverse to undo
never mind.
my fist pumping, so...
Fist pull.
I'll also ask you to let me know when I arrive.
Shade would arrive, and it's Pog. Pog did not go very far, so sure.
All right, into Pog's head.
Yeah. Ari would say, Hallis
what
had
are we doing here?
Okay, go ahead.
When you talk into my mind, I can answer.
Yes.
We're telling him we saved him. We need to find out what he was doing. Maybe we can get back whatever we needed to.
What we saw was that when you went down after the fight with Hallis had some people that were sneaking up behind your men and were clearly about to spring an attack. And so one of my companions cast fog to disrupt and allow your men to get away, and Pog grabbed you and got you out of safety. Or got you into safety.
Where are we?
We are not far.
You
we
just
are
didn't.
Just a little ways.
We're just in an alley.
Up the street,
a block
just
away
to get you safe.
Your men will be
They're
here in a
going
second.
to hear you.
He blinks.
If we call
Yeah,
out
I don't
loud
even know if
enough,
they saw
and
what was
you can
happening.
see his
We are
eyes
not
clear and
hiding.
his eyes focus, and the dagger comes over.
no knives here.
Whoa.
Entirely
no
false.
murder
There is
weapon
at least
here.
one knife here.
Like I said,
I'm not holding.
Yes,
it.
I can see that.
And we know how badly you can be beaten. So don't worry. This is not.
You wanna try
a
it?
fight.
Pog,
Eventually,
me-
I do, but not tonight.
no, we don't. That's what we're
It
trying to
wouldn't
say.
be fair because you just got beaten.
What's your weapon?
3.
Why were you fighting with
He
him
double-crossed
in the
my
first
people.
place? What was the single cross?
Well, he was about to triple cross. That's why we saved you.
I cast Charm Person.
We're on your side.
He does. I was waiting.
I have a +3 persuasion.
Well, he asked, "What weapon do you have?"
I have a +7
I'm not
deception.
drawing on him.
15. Yes, 9 plus 6 is yes, 15.
And we can't push to make someone else
Correct.
reroll, right?
Silvery barbs!
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
My one spell slot.
One spell slot. Oh no! You're
Natural 20.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Is it fine?
No, it's not.
I mean,
I thought I was misreading the situation.
narratively, it's going to be interesting. That, yeah.
It's okay.
What? What? No, we're.
I stopped preparing the spell most of the time because it didn't work for me, but I had it for the dogs.
He,
We're on your side. What?
At the very least, we are not against you right now.
Yes.
You're looking at us funny. You're giving us the stink eye. It's normally
Yes.
Shade's move.
You and I, and he looks at Pog, are going to fight at the first convenient point. And we will see exactly how easily I can be beaten.
Okay. That's fine. I don't.
Seems like
I'm
if
not
you
saying it was easy. He had to move literally the world to beat you. I'm saying you were beat. That's all.
He
felt
fights in the
out.
Red Ring. That would probably
You-
sell really well. And we know there's a big t-shirt market.
I mean, if you could fight, y'all could fight right now, but you would lose again.
I
Someone
didn't
give
say
me
that.
my sword and we'll find out
Now.
right now.
We don't have your sword.
I didn't
He
take your
starts
sword.
to walk past you all.
I mean,
Looks around, sees his men looking frantically around. It's right there. And
You're
he
welcome. You're welcome for the
storms
saving.
How did he
back
betray
because
you?
down
that's
the
all that's
street,
happening.
down the street, and grabs the rapier out of his men's hand and turns around, and says, "Fine. What's your weapon?"
That's not what this is for right now. That's not what I'm here for. I was here to help you. I saw you in need and help. If that was a mistake, then I guess I'm sorry. Apologies
You shouldn't
for
be sorry.
rescuing you.
Pod's getting this whole passive aggressive thing down real good.
You have insulted me.
Repeatedly.
That I will say sorry for, actually. The first part I was being scholastic, but this time I'll be serious. I didn't mean
Getting so close on the words, but yeah.
I did not mean to offend you. I meant to help you. I guess that was wrong. You helped us before, and you saved us, and we were almost beaten. And I saw you,
And I didn't have
Thought
anything to say about that.
I could help. Well, you said something really cool and then you pfft away. So, I mean, I wasn't saying anything bad. It was just a fact. Do you think you didn't lose?
I think I am not.
Because that's why I say
I think I am not easily beaten. And you said you would like to fight me, so
Okay.
win.
I said he moved the world to beat you. Also, it would be kind of fun
Fine,
to fight you. I
win.
think you're good at fighting, so I don't know. I bled a lot earlier today. I wouldn't be a good fighter right now either. Like a whole lot.
When's the next big Red Ring event? Philip, like,
That's not what's important, though. We can totally schedule a fight. I'll have my
When?
people, and he points to Ari, call your people, and we can schedule a whole fight. But what was the cross
Win.
that Hallis doubled?
a week from tomorrow. Sound fair?
Where?
Red Ring.
No.
Wait, why are all of you guys talking like you're
Wait,
about to
no?
fight the White Raven?
Wait, why not?
I don't fight
Because
for
you're not
audiences.
about to fight the White Raven.
It's
Really?
not,
I will fight
Seriously,
him.
this
it's
would
not
be,
a show.
He's the Kolos Crusher.
We name time. You name place. It's fine. It seems only fair.
What is we? Why is anybody not me talking about this?
You literally said that he should have his people talk to me, so I'm talking to him and his people.
No, to his people. He is not his people.
I don't have people to schedule my duels.
Really, you should look into it because you could probably make more than you are right now.
I don't fight
Where?
for money.
Oh. Oh.
What's the location?
So then why were you fighting Hallis Martel?
Tane.
How about here? 1 week from tomorrow. Right here.
Okay.
In the middle of the street?
We'll block it off.
Next to a now destroyed ship's cat?
Well, it's an alley, really.
We have time to clear it out this way. Pog, you good with this?
Nope.
Okay, then we won't do it.
Nope.
When would you like to fight him?
Fine. Puts the sword up. Didn't take the Kolos Crusher for a coward. And he turns, snaps, his men fall in line with him, and he walks off.
You're welcome for the rest of your life.
He offers you a rude gesture.
Pog responds with thank you.
You didn't want to duel him? It's the White Raven, man. You could have taken him.
Then you duel him.
I'm not a fighter.
I slap Pog on the back. It's that was a really good idea. I'm sorry it didn't quite work, but
I thought so too.
Yeah,
It was a really good idea.
just trying to help, but
Then maybe don't. That was not helpful.
me trying to
Why
lie to him
are
and
you
back up
not
your story
using
wasn't helpful.
Words. You tried to schedule a fight instead of asking any questions.
But when we were initially in the alley, I definitely did try to corroborate your story and help, and I'm sorry for that. Apparently,
That's true.
No,
No,
you made it
that's
clear.
my line. Don't do my thing. Don't do my thing. That's my thing.
I'm gonna go check
That's
in
my
with
thing.
Harish to see if she needs help clearing things out, since the ship's cat.
hey,
got
so
destroyed.
actually, hey, real quick before I forget, while we were all facing down death there for unfortunately little gain, I still thought it was a good idea, but I remembered at the moment something I forgot to tell you all. He totally recognized me with my mask on at the docks. He knew who I was.
Oh,
Oh.
So, yeah, that may have, I don't know really what that means in this situation, but it did.
well, he wouldn't
You
see.
should
maybe-
probably not have come to help.
He wouldn't know me
Yeah.
either way. So, okay. Well, that
I was
sucks.
not seen at the
but
docks.
it's true.
Cal was.
All right.
Do we have we seen Hallis move Earth like that
No.
before?
I've never seen Hallis fight.
That was
No, yeah, I don't know that we would have had reason to. His apparent bloodlust was interesting, though.
he seemed different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe like it. At least based on my read of the situation, it seemed like the Emerald Claw were going to take him in against his will, and so he just fought to defend himself. And when you're in the moment fighting, sometimes emotions can get high. You can get angry because somebody's trying to I mean, it might be something, but it might not. It might just be him being angry that the White Raven was trying to kidnap him.
So
I don't like being kidnapped. That's a good point.
Same.
right. Well, we saved people again. Hurrah! I guess.
This does not feel as hurrah as last time.
Whose territory are we in
Hey,
here?
Jade, we saved a
Just
restaurant
generally
full
speaking,
of people,
really.
so
This is,
we can hurrah that.
This is Greenfield. This is Southwatch, where you
That's true.
used to live, where the treehouse is. Which is not specifically anyone's. The Swords of Karn kind of have some influence here, but it's not specifically anyone's.
We might need to. Well, I don't know. I was going to say assert some territory here. I'm not a big fan of the Emerald Claw just showing up outside of Ship's Cat. That doesn't seem
No.
cool to me.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Then again, there were a lot of them. And presumably there are a lot more.
How far away is Grimalkin Manor from this section of the city, Philip? Like
Cross
roughly?
is the next district over.
Okay. So kind of close. I mean, I think the only thing that we
It's
really
not a
could do is
geographically
let.
large city, so nothing's
Yeah.
really far away.
I think the only thing we could do is let people
he
like.
also said those were his men.
That's
not
true.
like- Where are the Emerald Claw? He said his men.
So White Raven is a member of the Emerald Claw.
It kind of seems that way.
Yeah.
It does sound that way.
I think the best thing we could do is probably let people like Harish and other like business owners and people that live in this part of the city know that if something starts happening like this, they can contact us and we can come help as quickly as we can. I think that's all we could really do in terms of trying to have a level of influence in this part of the city and making it known that don't mess around here. But
I think I brought it up before, and I'm just going to throw it out there again. But if we had like little cards with like our name and symbol on them, then we could pass them out, and then they would have like something to remember us by.
If you hand
Yeah.
people stuff like that, they're just going to throw it away immediately.
some people,
Or put it in their pocket, or up on a wall.
yeah, like on a board, like if you need help, like
Harish is surveying surveying
like
the
all
wreckage
the
of
wanted
the ship's cat.
posters. of
Ari's
Shade.
going to go over and start helping clear
Hog's
stuff.
Yeah.
And
gonna go lift.
Shade's
whatever
going to
he's
help
picked up.
Harish.
So the a good chunk of the roof has caved in. With your assistance, Harish manages to clear away some of the worst damage. There's going to need to be some reconstruction work that
yeah,
takes place, which you probably can't do right here with no tools.
We don't need a calling card. We have
Sorry,
one.
say that again.
We don't need a calling card. We have one.
Yeah.
Destruction.
Wake of Chaos and Destruction. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Alistar Cannon, tell your
is
friends.
true.
But it's gonna require some tools and ladders and stuff like that that are not present at the moment. So
I got a hammer that I made back at the manor that I could use.
I will
Kudlar thought it was
take
good.
any help.
Could I use entangle to like solidify something in place? Like just to structurally
I like everything about that.
hold it together?
Is everything wood
It's
or
all
is
wood.
any of it
Yeah.
metal?
Yeah, I like everything about that of using entangle to lash beams back into place.
Then casting at a higher level because those are the spell slots that I have available.
Okay, so the picture in my head
It
is
is
like
worth it.
Pog
Shade will.
sort of has the pergola lifted back up in place, and vines sort of crawl down from the tree that grows over it and wrap themselves in knots around the joints, and there's sort of the creaking sound as they grip and tighten, and when you take your hands down, Pog, it holds.
That's so dope.
Good job, Shade.
Good job,
That's awesome.
Shade.
Good job.
Good job.
Good thinking.
Thank you.
I like that better. Yes, that is an improvement.
A happy accident.
It does look really nice.
Thank you, Jade. And all of you for
You're welcome.
helping get everyone out and doing what you could with whatever that was.
Yeah, that seemed.
Pog, you're not going to duel that man, are you?
Thought-
I don't really want to because I don't think he wants to fight for fun.
No, that is a very deadly person.
Yeah, I only wanted to fight for fun. He wants to fight for deaths.
He fights for... I suppose he would say honor. He doesn't kill everyone he duels, but he's not a...
Oh, that's good. Ish.
I do not recommend you duel that man.
Fair enough.
Noted. Noted. Is that noted? Have you noted?
Noted.
Okay, noted.
So noted.
What are you
Thank
pointing to?
Harish. What?
It's pointing to me. Did you see the direction he pointed? Just
If just it's from my perspective, he was pointing at someone else. It's just kind of a trick of
Yeah, you have to stop looking at
I
life as
suppose.
all these little boxes, okay? It's more.
have
than
to see the
that.
final product and what it's going to look like in the end. Yeah.
Wow.
I feel really good about that.
Yeah, no, that was good.
It's all still boxes in the end.
Well, Harish, is there anything else that we can do to help?
This conversation is going on as you're hauling tables back into place, that sort of thing.
Ari's using Gust cantrip to like clear away the debris and stuff, just mentally just sweeping things away.
I think I will probably close for the night, and I should be able, with the roof back up, I should be able to handle most of the cleanup.
Cats are starting to come back.
Oh, yes. But thank you again for everything.
Of course. And if anything happen, like if I can't imagine this is a common occurrence because we're around here so much, but if anything like this happens again, feel free to, send someone for us. We'll get here as quick as we can to help. But
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
House Tarkanan. I'll tell my friends.
All right. Yep.
Hey,
Got
she
it.
said the
Sketchy.
thing.
Hey,
That's
and this time we didn't cause the destruction, so chalk that up to a win. All right. Well, good night,
Will you
Harish.
also tell them that?
Tell them that you did not.
That
the
time,
restaurant.
that one time they didn't cause it.
Right. Right. That we can be helpful and not destructive
I would probably
sometimes.
just say the helpful part. Because if I say they can be not
Thank you.
destructive sometimes, it suggests to people that you are mostly destructive.
Super
Which
true.
is wow,
And you can tell them we're
not
not all
great for the
haunted.
brand.
Actual.
But if they ask follow-up questions like, "Oh, but I heard they also destroy things in their
I will
wake,"
tell
then you
them
can-
that my
then you could
experience has been
clarify.
exclusively positive.
Sometimes. See, maybe we need to get Harish to do our PR. Like Harish is good with that.
Yes.
Spinning that.
Yes.
Think that's what we're doing.
I mean, like permanently. Like Harish, you teach.
Drop a contract.
Come teach marketing,
pedagogical philosophy.
marketing and entrepreneurship with Harish.
No one at our
Like,
school is
could
prepared
also
for that
teach.
class.
Culinary arts and business.
I want to take that class.
Do the cats go with the place or with the person? Like, if she goes, do they just like follow in a pack?
I played in a game with someone who played a swarm keeper ranger, and their swarm was cats. They played a crazy cat. It was Laura actually.
Excellent.
They played a crazy cat lady.
That's amazing.
That was their shtick. Yeah. So Harish could be a swarm keeper ranger.
I mean, if you could get a bunch of cats to cooperate, that would be terrifying.
That's awesome.
Yep. So you return to the mansion. If you'll allow me.
Silvery barbs.
I'll consider it.
Take 15 damage.
It's just Ari's
Eric, not Ari. Eric.
squid ink now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
About a week passes. Right.
Long rest.
Yes, you do finally get that long rest, Pog.
Yep. Thank you. Sorry. Now I'm listening.
And there is a visitor to the school. Mrs. Brightdew. You are called to Thora's office and find Mrs. Brightdew sitting in Thora's office looking nervous.
Hi.
Hi, Ms. B.
Once again, I'm going to make assumptions about Ari having reintroduced himself to Mrs. Brightdew at some point. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yep. Yep.
Hi, Pog.
Should I leave?
No, I don't. I think you'll want to hear this. She taps your fist bump, Pog. Tell them what you told me. I heard something at work that I shouldn't be telling you, but so many things have happened in the last few months. 3 days ago, there was an attack at a facility outside the city that's owned by House Kenneth.
Okay.
Oh.
And 3 people with aberrant dragon marks working for an organization called the Children of Khyber were taken captive.
Okay.
There was a lot of excitement and conversation. They captured a criminal called the Son of Khyber, who's the leader of the organization, and I wanted you all to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't remember where do you work again?
I don't talk about it with I've never brought it up. It seemed indelicate. I work in the offices of the 12 in the tower of Kol Koran, over by the harbor.
Okay. That's fair.
They took them alive?
I believe so.
I'm looking at Laura at this point.
Hog as well.
I think they're not being held inside the city. I don't. It's not. I don't know about it, but I know there is some sort of. Well, there was. I worked for House Vatalis for a long time. I guess sort of still do. And there was... my husband heard rumors that there was a facility outside of Stormreach that Vatalis ran. But secretly. Outside the regulations of the Five Nations. What I heard at work was that they're being held outside the city, and that's the only nearby secure facility I know about.
Okay.
So, and she.
Okay.
I should go.
Thank you for this. This couldn't have been easy, but we appreciate it.
Yes,
Right.
thank you.
Before you go, how exposed are you on this?
I don't think very. They don't know about Donabella.
And you're capable of not being followed?
Well, I don't think they have any reason to follow me. I just work in secretarial work there. I'm not marked. My husband was, but so I don't have the name for a better job. It pays rent. So,
Yeah.
And Thora reaches
again.
over and squeezes her arm over and says, "Thank you, Arabella." And she hurries out of the room.
78 episodes later.
This has been so much so fast.
The door closes, and Thora sits behind her desk. When the situation was reversed, Dane went back for me.
It kind of ruins everything. We go, right?
I don't know. I am more visible here than I've been in the past. I've never... And... if I spot me, I suppose... it could. Ruin everything if I go.
Well, we should go and you shouldn't, right?
I mean, there's not really any difference there, is there? We're associated.
Well, we are less visible than she is.
We got our masks, but
It's true. But
I mean,
also,
Dane got us out. Like, we got to go help him, right? At least
Yeah.
to make things square.
also, it's a secret facility. It's not like the house will want to publicize that we stole from their secret facility, right? That's why it's secret?
Not really worried about the public.
Oh.
He's saying if I go, it brings heat down on the school. And there are lots of ways that they could endanger the school without
Yeah.
being public about it.
No, I mean,
That is
Thora, I think
very
this is one
rude.
where-
You aren't wrong.
I think we can take this off your plate, and you don't have to endanger the school or what we're doing here by going. Like, we'll have you on comms. We'll let you know as soon as we know anything, and you can communicate with us while we're in there.
We don't...
And at the end of the day, you're the one that's sending us, so
We don't know where it is. How are we finding out where it is?
we can.
Isn't that your thing?
To a degree.
I mean,
I had never heard of this, and well, you just met my inside contact in that tower.
I could talk to the forest
Um,
animals.
It's a very strange life I live.
we
where that's
also
a
I can
perfectly normal
I can try to
suggestion
track down.
shit, but it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, River could
I can
probably
also
talk to the entire jungle.
We also helped out a member of House Vatalis. I can go try to get her to slip up and let something slip if she knows anything. It was a while back. She won't
Gives you
remember who I
information.
am,
It's not
which
probably better that way, honestly.
yeah. Yeah. So
So
I
we
can
have
try to
animals,
track her down and
trees.
see if I can get anything.
And hopefully a sloppy member of House Fadeless.
Heir to House Victuals.
Animals and trees are better than people, though.
We've
True.
Thanks, Shade.
we've started things with a lot
I
less
like
options
these
than
people.
Step one, then. Let's find where they are.
I'm sorry. I just want to circle back around to we declined to do this job because we thought it was the wrong thing to do.
It was. It was the wrong thing to do.
Well, that's
and I wish
when it
Dane
was
hadn't done
not saving people.
that. We're not talking about doing the job, though. We're talking about saving Dane.
Right.
And his friend.
Teodoro
whose name
and
I definitely
Sarissa.
remember.
Both of his friends.
Two of them.
Teodoro.
Thank you.
He was very specific on the pronunciation, actually.
My
Teodoro.
friend Totoro.
That's who Shade needs.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Catbus.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. Next step is just try to figure out where they might be held, and then
Right.
we can figure out what we need to do after that. But I think it being out in the jungle might actually be a benefit, given Shade's
All right.
skill set.
How long has school been in session?
Probably a month, 6 weeks maybe.
It's a little early for fall
time for fall
break,
break.
but
We'll manage.
Okay.
I'll see what people I know. And well, everyone will see what they can find out. That's what we'll do. That's step one. If we can,
Yeah.
possibly,
Would Natalia know anything,
if we can
potentially?
complete step one, we'll see what step two is. Be
Yeah.
careful.
All right.
For the kids, they could just have their survival class midterm. We can just leave them in the forest for the week.
what?
If you
Shay,
want,
this is not
Well, you
going to
said
be on
that,
your good
like,
idea
sometimes-
list.
break
you should take them
and-
on a camp out overnight, perhaps in the edge of the forest. But no, they're not ready for that.
Mm.
Do you not think they've ever
Some of
camped
them
out before?
Have probably
A couple of
some
them
of them have
definitely
probably
have.
slept on the street.
Define camping out, because
that's
a lot of
not-
them
not
slept
like you.
outdoors.
Same thing.
Nasaria, I
She
think, would
might not
die
have ever
in
camped out, I don't know.
midterm.
But- But
She's got a lot to learn.
She could probably just tell the jungle what to do, though, to be honest. She's
I
very bossy.
don't think you're wrong about River. But
yeah,
She is.
I've had 3 classes outside because she told me that it should happen, and I was like, well, yeah, of course, and I don't know how,
I
but
don't-
that just
I don't.
You
it was
should have
nice
it
outside.
I don't think you're wrong about River. But be careful. All right.
All right,
Thank you.
we're gonna get him back. Yeah, we're gonna get him back.
We're certainly going to try.
Next
All right.
week.
That's
Thank you all so much for
Ba-da-ba-da.
watching. This has been Khyber Shards. Oh, I know, right?
So much. So much.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find links to all of our social media, including our Discord, down in the description below. While you're down there, hit some of those engagement buttons and feed our master algorithm. In the description below, you will also find a link to Colin's Twitch, where he streams on Tuesdays and whenever life
the others
allows
dislikes our videos.
as Sorry BTR. The O is a 0. There we go, everyone. Got it.
Look at those here.
New episodes of Khyber Shards every Monday. New Khyber Shards answers every Friday. You can submit questions in comments below and over on our Discord. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.